A life that is totally yielded to God is a life that is sacrificed on the altar. A life you sacrifice on the altar is no longer your own. A life you sacrifice on the altar is no longer in your possession. A sacrificed life, a yielded life, is a life that is dead to sin and alive in Christ Jesus. Until you become dead to sin and alive in Christ Jesus, there is a level of God that you cannot encounter. There is a dimension of God that you can never access. Why? Because your life is not yet surrendered at the altar of Christ. Why? Because your life is not yet totally surrendered on the altar of total submission. Until you are submitted to God, power cannot be submitted into your hand. Until you submit to God, you cannot command the deep things of God. The reason why you can still take a cigarette in your hand to smoke is because that hand is not totally yielded. That life is not totally surrendered. That destiny, that life, that body is not yet sacrificed on the altar of total submission. When you totally submit to God, you no longer care what the world thinks about you. You no longer care what the world says about you. You no longer care what people think about you. What becomes your area of concentration, what draws and attracts your attention becomes what will profit your spirit. It becomes what will profit your spirit. So anything that will not profit your growth in the Lord, anything that will not profit your growth in Christ, no longer becomes attracted to you. You become attracted to the things of righteousness and you begin to hate the things of the world. You begin to hate sin. You have to come to a point in your life where you hate sin and love God. Some people hate God and love sin. Some people love sin more than they love